Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. My name is Gavin. If you find this video helpful, valuable in any way, make sure to like, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Let's just dive right in. So in this video, I wanted to show you guys how to guarantee that whatever you're trying to mint, whatever project that you're trying to mint has a guaranteed success rate when it comes to your blockchain transaction pending. So I actually just minted a project called Society of Derivative Apes. The project sold out in less than 30 seconds, and the max you could do per transaction was 3, so I was able to get 3. And I want to show you guys how I was actually able to basically get ahead of everyone else trying to mint this project and secure my bag, so to speak. So first things first, if we head over to my first transaction, you can see that it says it was dropped and replaced, and this was kind of expected, and I'm about to tell you guys why. So first thing off, side note, if we go to this contract address over here, this said 40 Ethereum, so I'm assuming there was a withdrawal. As soon as this project launched for public minting, the Discord server got hacked, a false link was sent out, and the scammers managed to get 40 ETH worth, which was like $170,000. So guys, if you're going to mint a project and you're on the website, never click any links, especially if it's right when it's going to be publicly launched, because Discord servers unfortunately get hacked all the time. So you got to be really wary of that. And this project only cost 0.04 Ethereum to mint, and the scammers were able to get 40 Ethereum. So that was quite a lot of people who got scammed. So just be wary, guys. Like I said in my previous video, don't click links. Always make sure you're on the official website before you link. So one thing I want you guys to understand is that a lot of people probably think that if you're the first one to click the connect wallet and press mint, that you have an advantage. So this was going live at 6 p.m. EST, which is 3 p.m. where I live in California. But I happened to refresh the page about 20 seconds before it went live, and I noticed that they updated the contract so I could connect and start my transaction. The thing is though, I did it anyway because I just wanted to go for it. But the thing is, I knew that that would actually likely be to my detriment due to the fact that if you're the first person to click mint once a project goes live, you're actually at a disadvantage. And the reason for that is because the server and the Ethereum blockchain doesn't know how many people are about to click that mint button yet. So it gives the first few people a certain gas price in Gwei that it thinks is probably going to be enough to make that transaction go through. So what happens is, like, I must have been probably one of the first people to try and mint this during public, because like I said, I just happened to refresh my page at the perfect second. They must have uploaded the contract 20 seconds before it went live. And you can see here that that transaction actually dropped, but I'm going to show you guys what I did so that I actually was able to make it successful. You can see that I was able to grab 3 tokens. The transaction was a success. I paid 167 in gas and 490 for the tokens. So basically, like I said, if you're the first person to click the mint button, you're actually at a disadvantage because the blockchain, the contract is assuming that Gwei number is going to be the same. But as soon as 100 or 1,000 or 10,000 people hop on and try to mint, the number is going to skyrocket and your transaction is going to get locked into that initial Gwei amount. And it's just not going to go through. It's just simply not going to work. So what you can do, and this is exactly what I did. If I didn't do this, there's no way my transactions would have gone through. I would have paid $125 in gas. Obviously, I wouldn't have paid for the tokens because I wouldn't have received them, but I would have burned $125 worth of Ethereum in gas, because when you pay gas fees, you don't get them back, even if you don't get awarded the token. So it's better to do what I did and pay a little bit more gas because A, I secured my tokens, and B, I didn't burn gas for no reason. So what you're going to want to do is, so let me send some Ethereum, for example. I'm going to send a stupid amount. Okay, so you can see that the gas fee is 1727.004 ETH. So I would always recommend that you keep the recommended gas on because it's going based off of the current Gwei. But I'm going to show you guys something real quick. So I'm going to do something really dumb. Never ever do this. This is just so you guys can understand. I'm going to set the gas fee really low so that my transaction is only 17 cents. and then I'm going to confirm it. So once I confirm it, this is going to be for any transaction you make, whether you buy secondary or you're minting directly from the project's website. You're going to want to click confirm, and once you click confirm, you'll notice that there's a speed up button. So what I did, so the GUI is 187. So when I initially minted this contract, since I was one of the first person, it calculated the GUI at 153. But like I said, once there's an influx of people on the server, on the network, it's going to jump up, and the real GUI ended up being 248. So what you're going to want to do is click speed up, and what I would have to do to make this transaction successful is bump it up. So basically, when it said that it was 153 GUI, I went into my transaction and I sped it up to like 300. And I knew I didn't need 300, but I wanted to guarantee that my mint would go through first before anyone else's. So I set an unnecessarily higher amount of GUI to do this. And that essentially puts you ahead of everyone else in line, because it's saying you're willing to pay a higher transaction fee, which means that your transaction is going to go through the Ethereum blockchain faster. So again, this transaction isn't going to go through because there's not enough GUI. And I did this so that it would stay here and I could show you. So if I click on the transaction and I go to Etherscan, once I'm in Etherscan, it shows the pending transaction. So basically, as soon as I minted that first transaction on this block right here, I went to the Etherscan and I noticed, this is what you guys want to check when you're minting a new project. You want to look at the estimated confirmation duration. So this says it will be less than an hour. If you see this, it means there is no chance that, there's a very, 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 very small chance, but basically no chance that your project is going to go through, especially if it's a project that is going to mint out fast, like the one I just did, literally minted out in 30 seconds. Now keep in mind, there was a pre-sale. The pre-sale were able to buy 3 per wallet. So at the time of minting, there was already 6,500 minted. So there are only 3,500 left. So I knew it had to be really quick and speed up this transaction. But basically, if you see this, it means your transaction is not going to go through. So as soon as I saw that on this page, it looked like that. I went into the transaction, I clicked speed up, and I adjusted my GUI to a significant amount more than was necessary. And you see it says max fee is higher than necessary. So if you leave it as is, so when you go to speed up, it will automatically readjust to the GUI that you want. But what I did is I actually bumped it up even more, just so that I could guarantee I would get a mint faster than anyone else. And as soon as I did that and I clicked saved, I refreshed the page, and this went down to less than 15 seconds. So you always want to make sure when you're minting a project that is likely to sell out quickly, if this needs to say less than 15 seconds. So when I did that and I sped up the transaction, it went from saying less than 1 hour to less than 15 seconds. I refreshed the page again, and then I was here. We said we saw success, 218 block confirmations, 3 tokens were minted. And by that time, the project was already sold out. So I paid $167 in gas, which ended up to being 248 GUI. And on the original transaction, it was trying to be minted at 153 GUI. And there was just no way that was going to happen. So guys, you just got to keep that in mind. If you're one of the first person to mint, or even if you're in the middle, the GUI that you get calculated on isn't going to reflect the additional volume that the server is going to expect once everyone else tries to come mint that. So you clicking the button first does not give you any advantage unless my first transaction happened to go through, because at first it did say less than 15 seconds, so I was willing to let it go through, but I kept refreshing the page, and as soon as it said less than 1 hour, I knew I immediately needed to go into the transaction, click speed up, and adjust the GUI actually more to what it recommended, just so I could guarantee that my mint went through. Now, yes, this can get expensive. This project was actually super inexpensive the way these contracts were coded, considering I only paid $167 for 3 tokens is actually amazing. But at the same time though, if you're gonna want to mint the project, there's no point of you paying the gas fees on a public launch and then your transaction not being successful, because you're going to end up burning gas fees for no reason. And on top of that, you're not going to get the tokens you wanted. You need to go in, speed up the transaction, and bump up the maximum GUI. So that's about it for this video, guys. I just wanted to show you guys how to make sure that you can guarantee you minting a very hyped up public launch, especially if it's going to sell very quickly. It can be a bit costly depending on the project and depending how the contracts are coded, but you just want to make sure that the second that you click that mint button and you confirm it on the blockchain in MetaMask or wherever else, that you go to Etherscan and check the pending transaction. Make sure this says less than 15 seconds. If it doesn't, it means you really quickly need to go in that transaction, speed up, bump up the GUI, come back, refresh it, make sure it says 15 seconds, and then you should have a success notification. And it does say that this was dropped and replaced. So if you go to the transaction dropped and replaced, there's several reasons. So if we look at number 5, it says the transaction fee GUI provided for the transaction was too low. So that's exactly what happened. But because I went in and sped it up, it didn't just drop and lose out on the transaction entirely. It created like a secondary branch of the transaction, which ended up being successful. So I didn't waste the initial $125 in gas. It just went to this $167. I basically just ended up paying $42 more. I hope that was helpful. I realized once I minted this project and I had to do that I didn't really explain that in my first how to mint an NFT video. If you like this video, if you found it valuable, make sure to like, subscribe, turn on post notifications, comment below. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys want me to make more videos of, and I will catch you guys later. And follow me on Twitter at BlockchainGavin.